prices are soaring. How much more they could go up before coming back down.
There he is.
My man, my man. My man.
So
How
good to
are
see
you?
you.
Good
Great.
to see you too.
I like how you have arranged a car for us.
Just us.
And he's back. Cleveland's adopted son, Al Roker, strolls down memory lane with Leon Bibb. The Today Show host and his team take a look at how our local businesses are bouncing back from the pandemic. Plus, we gave him a pretty cool surprise. Stay with us. What's New starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And we start this 5 o'clock hour with breaking news. Late this afternoon, Cleveland City Council voted to join in the effort for the Department of Justice to reopen the federal civil rights investigation case into Tamir Rice's death. They joined Tamir's family and a list of Ohio lawmakers who have already sent a letter to the Attorney General. Tamir was just 12 years old when a Cleveland police officer shot and killed him in 2014. The civil rights investigation was closed in December of last year under the Trump administration. We will have more on this new development tonight on What Matters Most at 6. Obviously, an impactful story that we'll continue following here in Northeast Ohio. But for now, though, we say hello, everyone, and thank you so much for choosing What's New on this beautiful Monday. I'm Betsy Kling. Jay is live on assignment this afternoon, so Romney Smith is co-hosting with me today. And Jay, where are you?
Well, I'll tell you, Betsy, the sunshine is on my face and I'm on a golf course, so I don't know that I could be in a better place. I'm actually in Hartville, Ohio at Congress Lake Golf Club. It's a beautiful club, and we were here to help, believe it or not, tackle illiteracy. Former Buckeye head coach, football head coach Jim Tressel was here as well. He's been a huge advocate in the battle against illiteracy in the state of Ohio. He was presented with an award here today. We're going to hear from him in the second half hour. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to talk to one of the co-founders of Second and Seven Foundation, whose mission over the last 2 decades has been to help bring those illiteracy rates in the state of Ohio down. He played football at Ohio State, but the impact he's making in that realm is much bigger. And that's coming up a little later in this edition of What's New. We'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds fantastic. Thanks, Jay. We'll check back in with you in just a few minutes.
Well, also, what is new? Mask wearing could become a seasonal thing. Head infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci is on board with that idea. And for more on that and a Cleveland Clinic study that showed strong evidence that vaccines work, we now go to senior health correspondent Monica Robbins. Monica, what's the latest on all this?
You know, Bets, we have been waiting for months for this, and now Dr. Anthony Fauci said on ABC News that federal guidance on masks indoors may soon be changing. He was asked whether it's time to start relaxing the guidelines, and Fauci said the key, of course, is getting more people vaccinated. You'll recall the CDC just relaxed guidelines regarding wearing masks outdoors. Now the same guidance could be coming for those vaccinated indoors, too. And maybe, just maybe, masks will just be needed during cold and flu season.
Wearing masks clearly, if you look at the data, diminishes respiratory diseases. We've had practically a non-existent flu season this year merely because people were doing the kinds of public health things that were directed predominantly against COVID-19.
Now, something else new, the CDC now acknowledges airborne transmission instead of just close contact as to how the virus spreads. The new guidance says particles can be breathed in by other people or land on their eyes, noses, or mouth. And many doctors believed this was accurate from the very beginning, which is why masks and distancing were just so important. And it's another reason, Bets, for people to consider vaccination.
Well, mentioning the vaccine and, you know, the Cleveland Clinic study that we kind of talked about just a couple minutes ago, what did the Cleveland Clinic find?
Yeah, the Cleveland Clinic just released their own vaccine data from both employees and patients. So out of 47,000 caregivers, just under 2,000 actually got COVID. They found 99.7% of COVID infections happened to unvaccinated employees. 0.3% of those infections occurred in those fully vaccinated. Now, among 4,300 patients that they saw from January 1st to to mid-April, more than 99% of those patients were not fully vaccinated. So their own data is proving that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are very effective, up to 96%, Bets.
And that is some very good news as those vaccine rollouts continue. All right, Monica, thank you so much. Romney?
Today, the Colonial Pipeline Company indicated operations will resume later this week. The company shut down 4 networks Friday after saying it was hacked. A Russian group is claiming responsibility. The pipeline is the largest fuel pipe in the United States. The White House even had to issue a rare emergency declaration Sunday to allow drivers to use alternate routes to deliver oil and gas. Brandon Simmons joins us now live. Brandon, anyone who drives has no doubt noticed gas prices are rising in the greater Cleveland area. How much of that has to do with this cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline?
Hey, Romney. Well, the good news is for us, that pipeline issue shouldn't have too much of an effect on us locally, since the Colonial Pipeline mainly serves southern and eastern parts of the United States. But our prices are still on the rise for different reasons. This week, the average is $2.87 per gallon, which is up 7 cents from the week before. And the main cause is simple supply and demand. During the pandemic, oil production has been down, and now as more of us get back to normal, demand is up. While the refineries in the Midwest are functioning just fine, there's still not enough to go around, and it's very likely that prices go up a little more before they come back down.
The $3 a gallon mark is something that could happen as soon as the next couple of weeks. But, you know, the risk, I think, is that it could happen at any point in the next month, maybe 2 months. I think that's probably the strongest possibility. If it hasn't happened by July 4, it probably won't happen.
Now, the good news in all of this is that the prices we're seeing now are around where they should be for this time of year, and that's a sign that the economy is getting back to normal. Now, of course, nobody wants to pay more at the pumps, so now is a good time to pay close attention to the different rewards programs that are out there and check to see if your credit card offers any discounts as well, Romney.
Indeed, and who doesn't like to save money? Brandon, thank you. Well, Cuyahoga County says it's doing its best to make sure that renters can stay in their apartments and homes, as so many people have struggled during the pandemic. Today, leaders announced $10 million more that will help.
A lot of people have had to choose between food and rent and, you know, keeping the lights on. It's a horrible situation for people who have lost income.
That's why Cuyahoga County requested and received an additional $10 million on top of the $20 million already received to help with rental assistance. Chris Canary with the Housing Center says their phones have been ringing off the hook.
Financial assistance because they've lost income, lost family members who used to receive income, who are no longer, a member of their household, who have had their hours cut or their wages reduced.
Budish tells me the goal is to keep locals in their homes so they don't have to move during the pandemic.
It would be devastating to the county if we end up with a tsunami of evictions and people become homeless. We can't allow that to happen.
With the CDC's eviction moratorium ending in about 6 weeks, Canary says people need to look at the totality of expenses.
To pay movers, to pay application fees, to pay a security deposit and first and potentially last month's rent at the new place you move in, and keep up with your current rent at the same time. That on its own is still overwhelming.
And realize that thousands of locals need help.
$30 million is not enough, and we're seeing the need out there.
The money is for renters, and if there are some small-scale landlords who also need help because they haven't been receiving rent. And by the way, I'll have a link to how you can apply for help with your rent on our website, WKYC.com.
Well, my co-host Jay Crawford joins us live from Hartville, where a great event just wrapped up. And Jay, today's golf outing was to raise money to help put an end to the literacy problem here in Ohio and maybe enjoy a little bit of this beautiful weather. But, illiteracy is something that is widespread not only across Ohio, but the country. So tell us more about how you're helping.
Yeah, you're right, Betsy. It's a problem really nationally. And in Ohio, believe it or not, the numbers, particularly in Northeast Ohio and in Cleveland, are worse than the national average. We have some numbers for you I want you to take a look at. These are stats from 2018, 2019. And when it comes to the Cleveland Metropolitan Public School District, 61% of kindergartners were actually behind where they should be. Compare that to the suburbs where that number is only 39%. So you can see there's a huge disparity. So one of the things that Second and Seven Foundation is trying to do is they're trying to chew into those numbers. Second and Seven Foundation was formed by 3 former Ohio State football players, Ryan Miller, Luke Fickell, and Mike Vrabel. Fickell, of course, coaching at the University of Cincinnati. We know that Mike Vrabel is coaching with the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Miller's work really is with the Second and Seven Foundation. He joins us now. Ryan, you guys have been at this 20 years. For those that don't know, what is Second and Seven's mission? What do you guys do?
Well, for 21 years, we've been promoting reading by providing free books and positive role models to kids in need while encouraging young athletes of the community to pay it forward. And it's that synergy between the student athlete and those children that are in second grade that really is where the magic happens for Second and Seven.
So you get football players, basketball players from not just Ohio State, but all over, universities all over.
It happened 21 years ago, and what happens is there's a coach at Ohio State that then ends up getting a job at North Carolina, and of course they want their student athletes reading as well at North Carolina, and then of course you've got somebody else that takes a job at a high school, and then you want those high school student athletes. So our mission remains focused of getting able to promote reading by providing those free books and positive role models, and it's not just the college levels, it's high school too. So like in Northeast Ohio, this is an enormous thing. There's enough colleges, but there's also a lot of high schools. And think about it when you were in second grade. If a high schooler came in and read to you, it would really make a major difference and leave a big impact in your life.
We have 30 seconds. How many books has the Second and Seven Foundation given to students to help promote that love of reading?
Over 600,000 books have been given, which is really unbelievable. We continue to dream new dreams, but a golf outing like today has helped really support the efforts we have in Northeast Ohio, so we can't thank everyone enough.
Ryan Miller of the Second and Seven Foundation. Ryan, thank you very much. 600,000 books, guys. That's incredible. Coming up in the next half hour, you all remember former Buckeye coach Jim Tressel. He led the Buckeyes to a national championship in the early 2000s. He's been involved with this organization for a long time, was given an award here today, and we'll hear his thoughts on trying to bring those literacy rates up and the illiteracy rates down throughout the state of Ohio, particularly in Northeast Ohio. Guys, we'll see you in the 5:30 half hour.
All right, Jay, we'll see you then. In the meantime, coming up next on What's New, we're taking a walk down memory lane. Al Roker revisits some places here in Cleveland as he's in town, and he sits down with our Leon Bibb to reminisce on some great stories.
Plus, you've probably heard the word cryptocurrency buzzing around. We'll explain Elon Musk's take on Dogecoin and what's going on exactly. That's ahead in the pop break.
And Matt Wentz is keeping an eye on our start of the week forecast. Matt, those clouds don't look like rain clouds to me, thankfully.
Boy, Betsy, what a change over 24 hours ago. Things didn't get a whole lot uglier across Cleveland area yesterday at this time, but we've cleared things out. The CSU cam showing you that bright sunshine, sunset beyond the 8:30 time now. Your outdoor dining forecast tonight looks great. Just grab a light jacket. We'll be in the 50s, settling back into the 40s. I've got to look at the week ahead. We still have some cold nights ahead. We'll get you through those coming up.
Well, the Today Show's Al Roker is in the CLE all week as part of NBC's Reopening America series. He and his team are showcasing how local businesses are working to reopen our city.
And they're working hard, and during his visit, he's been checking out his favorite spots with some of his favorite people, including the legendary Leon Bibb.
Oh, man, look at these. This is nice. Oh, yeah. There he is.
My man. My
Leon.
man. My man.
So
How
good to
are
see
you?
you.
Good
Great.
to see you, too.
I like how you have arranged a car for us.
Just us.
What a guy. This is a little different than when we used to do it.
Woo! I always talk about when you and I rode the rapid transit.
The 1202
Yeah.
going out to Shaker, and a bunch of us, our producers and you and me, we'd ride this thing.
We ride this thing every night.
I know, and it was great because people, I think after a while, just knew to stay away from our part of the car.
Right.
Because it was loud, it was boisterous, there was some profanity. It was fantastic.
I brought you something because this was my name for you, Big Al.
That's right, you
Big
gave me that
Al, the
nickname.
sportsman's pal.
Well, not to be, I had given you a nickname because you always read poetry, and
Yeah.
you were really smooth. So Cool Papa Bibb was my nickname for you.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
You know? One of the things that I love about Cleveland, still love about Cleveland, are the people. Everybody, when I was walking in here, hey Al, how you doing? Hey, it's like I never left.
No, you haven't left as far. The people knew you. What do you think of the city? How is the city doing? Now, you're going to be reporting on that.
Yeah.
How are we looking?
Well, look, it looks terrific. I mean, look, every city has had a bit of a setback, but if any city's poised for a comeback after this pandemic, it's Cleveland. I mean, you've got the natural beauty of the lake. Very few cities have what Cleveland has. That lake, you've got 3 major sports franchises within a stone's throw of each other, and you've got cultural institutions. It truly is one of the greatest locations in the nation.
You know, you and I began when we started at Channel 3.
Right.
It was the beginning of Cleveland's resurgence.
Yes.
And there was also something else that was happening. We were 2 black guys breaking into television in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And that said something, didn't it?
Well, look, they really hadn't seen anything like that. Channel 3 took a chance. Not so much on you because you're from Cleveland. Did you hear about the election? I was a kid from New York City, and they took a shot. But the thing that I've always told people this, you've been my idol. I mean, you took me kind of under your wing, you kind of showed me around. WKYC was my launching pad. Yeah. Channel 3 made me who I am, really.
We are so absolutely proud. He is just one of our greatest advocates of Cleveland. It's always great when he comes back.
Absolutely. Betsy, don't you wish you could work with some of those amazing graphics that he used to have?
I know, right? Well, the two of them, I mean, it's so fun to listen to their stories. You know, we literally just kind of hang on every word, and they both just go back and forth, and it's hysterical. Some of the stories are a little different than others.
Right,
they were very ornery back in the day, but yeah, it's just so good, and what a great legacy they have set up for us.
Icons, both of them.
Yep, definitely. All right, well, let's take a turn now to another icon in the making. Oh, that'd be Matt Wintz. Matt, how's that forecast shaping up? You're doing this weather like this more often? Icon status is coming quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, yeah, right. But Betsy, I appreciate that. You know, it's so good to see just Al and Leon back in the day. I could watch that all day. We should do like an hour special on that for sure. But, you know, we brought nice sunshine for him. Hopefully he flew back into town and was away on our Mother's Day, because it certainly got kind of raw around here. But things can only go up from here. And boy, are they. We have such a nice step pattern over the next 7 days that is really going to yield some great conditions. And you know how Cleveland does it. We give it to you slowly, right? We have to earn this. But for today, we have the bright sunshine. We do have some clouds starting to work in from the west, though. There is another frontal boundary. It's very weak, sinking down to the south. This will reinforce our cool air tonight and tomorrow. You can see just a couple light showers getting ready to work on the areas of Huron County down towards Richland County. We had all the rain yesterday, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of much needed rain, but a little bit too much in a hurry. Still keeping our rivers and creeks at flood stage in many locations. Should come down below flood stage tonight into the daytime tomorrow. But look how unsettled we are, still off towards the north. You can see the hit or miss showers that we have stretching back into the Canada, all this kind of sinking at us. So we're going to keep isolated showers in the forecast tonight and tomorrow as well. Nothing widespread. The big story is this pool of cool air is going to remain over us as we get into the daytime tomorrow. Then we'll start the warm up. But look at all the frost advisories still. Widespread from here back towards the Dakotas. Locally, not quite as widespread a frost tonight, but we're still going to have some patchy frost, especially inland Ashtabula County, south of Route 20. Then you get out towards the west. I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some areas of frost here in other areas of northeast Ohio. It's something to keep an eye on. Might just want to bring those plants in over the next couple nights. So we do have cold nights this week. That's what high pressure does. Frost possible as we get into tonight, tomorrow morning. I think we'll have a pretty decent shot at frost with some reinforcing shot of some cooler air Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then we'll start to lose those frost chances finally by Wednesday night. And you know what? Temperatures are going to warm after that. National Design Mart hour by our forecast. Here's your scattered shower chance. Remember, we've got some pretty dry air, so it's going to be light, if anything. Some clouds giving way to quite a bit of sunshine tomorrow. I think it's another beautiful day. It will be cooler than today, though. Keep in mind, as that cooler air settles in, there's your hit or miss shower chances. Otherwise, high temperatures should make a run into the low to mid 50s tomorrow. So a little bit cooler than today. There's your cold start Wednesday morning, perhaps back into the 30s inland, especially. Rain chances week ahead. I'm going to take a look at this every now and then on Mondays here. You can see we go dry pretty much this week. If you're a construction worker, roofer, or anything like that, you're going to need to know. And it does look like we stay dry. Low rain chances. Real next organized chance of rain arrives on next Monday. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Here we go. Taking the steps back towards 70 this weekend. I've got a we deserve this on Friday. And yeah, Saturday, Sunday looks good too. It looks like we're going to stay dry. We're going to have sunshine and temperatures finally up. That's just average, so we can do better than that, but we'll take average at this point. Romney?
Thanks, Matt. We have some breaking news to get to right now. The FDA just granted Pfizer emergency use authorization to vaccinate kids ages 12 through 15 years old against COVID-19. We're working to get even more details for you, and we'll bring you the latest on air and online. We'll be right back. Welcome back to What's New. It's time for your pop break. Lizzo is all in her feelings. Elon Musk attempts to explain cryptocurrency and what's behind his involvement, and another new celebrity baby announcement. Here's Kira Cotton with all the details.
You know that part of sadness where you feel like a burden on everyone and annoying?
Everybody has those days, and Sunday was a bad day for Lizzo. The music star, born Melissa Jefferson, posted a tearful message to TikTok after having a rough morning, saying she wants to feel loved and cared about, but doesn't currently feel that way. But after some self-care, things turned around, and she posted a follow-up video thanking everyone for their love and support.
If you're going through things, just know you're not alone.
And Elon Musk sent the cryptocurrency business into a tizzy after his appearance on Saturday Night Live this weekend. In a skit, Musk took on the character Lloyd Ostertag, the self-proclaimed Doge father, and repeatedly tried to explain what exactly Dogecoin is.
I'm telling you, it's a cryptocurrency you can trade for conventional money.
Oh, so it's a hustle.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
But it wasn't all fun and games. The cryptocurrency fell nearly 30% during his appearance. Do you remember Katie from My Wife and Kids?
You just drive me into his arms, Daddy.
Well, she's all grown up, and now she's a mom. Over the weekend, the now 25-year-old Parker McKenna Posey announced that she and her boyfriend, J.J. Wilson, welcomed a baby girl earlier this year. The nearly 2-minute-long video shows her pregnancy from start to finish. She captioned the video, "Harley's mom, my biggest blessing thus far. Congratulations to this happy couple."
Coming up in the next half an hour of What's New, Cleveland's comeback story. A look inside some iconic spots as their big bounce back continues across the land.
Plus, one of our iconic spots at WKYC Studios gets a new name. My Big unveiled Al Roker live on the Today Show this morning as he continues to leave his mark on the city.
And we'll check back in with Jay, who's live at a golf outing for a good cause. I'll to raise money to help with illiteracy in Ohio. What's new? We'll be right back.
Huge pile, and I was shoveling it into a big trailer that I pulled behind my yard tractor, and I had to fill it and dump it around my yard 45 times.
Tell him yes.
Yes. Hi, Al.
Yes, he should kill the second mic.
And the second mic is now off. Al. Well, Betsy, we're here too. Do you have it? You okay? Go.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well,
Well, let's get you up to speed at this 5:30 half hour with 3 things you need to know. We have 2 breaking stories to get to for you. First, Cleveland City Council voted to ask the Department of Justice to reopen the federal civil rights investigation into Tamir Rice's death. Rice was 12 years old when he was shot and killed by a Cleveland police officer. Several others, including Tamir's family and Ohio lawmakers, have asked the Attorney General to reopen the case. It was closed in December of last year under the Trump administration. We'll have more on this new development tonight on What Matters Most at 6.
And just minutes ago, the FDA gave emergency use authorization to Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine, meaning they can now vaccinate kids ages 12 to 15 years old. This now means that all Americans ages 12 and up can get the Pfizer vaccine, which is 2 doses. The FDA posted on its website and Twitter account that this is a significant step to fighting the pandemic.
And back here at home, we have some good news on the COVID front. 713 cases were reported overnight. Today is the 2nd day in a row we've been below 1,000 cases. It's nearly 50% below the 21-day average.
And today we ticked above 41% of Ohioans receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. 4.8 million Ohioans have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine. 35% of Ohioans are completely vaccinated as well. As of Thursday, the cases per 100,000 Ohioans stands at 140.
And finally, the Colonial Pipeline Company is hoping to be back up and running by the end of the week. Hackers got into the system Friday. Their huge pipeline moves gas, diesel, and jet fuel throughout the Deep South and the East Coast. A Russian group is claiming responsibility, and the White House issued a rare emergency declaration on Sunday. That means transportation will be shifting to trucks and trains. Experts say a long shutdown could push gas prices even higher. And with that, everybody, we say thank you for staying with us and welcome back to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling. Jay Crawford is live on assignment, and Romney Smith is co-piloting with me tonight. And Jay, what do you have for us coming up in this half hour?
Well, Beth spent the day at a golf course for a very good cause. I don't know, that's a win-win all the way around, no matter how you slice it. We are doing our best, Betsy, to help bring down the illiteracy rates in not just the state of Ohio, but also Northeast Ohio. We had numbers in the last half hour that are really alarming. The Cleveland Public Schools, the kids there are more behind than they are on the state level and as well on the national level. I'm sure you remember Coach Jim Tressel. He won a football championship while coaching the Ohio State Buckeyes. As passionate as he is about football, Betsy, he is that passionate about helping stamp out those illiteracy rates. He received a very special award today. Coming up in this half hour, we're going to hear from the former head football coach of Ohio State, how he is playing a part in helping bring those illiteracy rates down. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes, Bets. We'll see you soon.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Jay. All right, now let's get to our top talker. All anyone has been talking about is reopening Ohio. We're all getting antsy. And this week, the Today Show is spotlighting how Cleveland is doing it very safely.
Our good friend Al Roker and his team are showing a variety of businesses on the Today Show this week as part of their Reopening America series. NBC's Sam Brock, who has Cleveland roots himself, visits some iconic restaurants, Progressive Field, and Cedar Point. He was really excited about that to see how the bounce back here is going.
At the heart of Cleveland's comeback story, you'll find a city rich in sports history, craft breweries, and home to the largest performing arts center outside New York City. That's about to experience its opening act, a real in-person production in just weeks.
You think about our pent-up need to get together because human beings are supposed to get together.
The Mimi, Ohio Theater, first unveiled in 1921 in the aftermath of a different pandemic.
Do you think it's almost fate that it's working out like this?
You know, it sure seems like there is some invisible hand that guides all of this. When these theaters opened 100 years ago, people were lined up around the block to get in. And that's going to happen again.
Masks will be required, and capacity for shows starts at 25%. A rebirth, as Cuyahoga County's 7-day average for new cases has fallen from nearly 290 in the middle of April to about 170 today. And COVID-related hospitalizations have been slashed roughly in half this month.
The good news is that when you see vaccinations go up, COVID cases go down.
Hi! The Cleveland Clinic has been taking its vaccination efforts door to door.
I'm here to give you your COVID vaccine today.
Reaching more than 1,000 homebound patients out in the community. With more shots in arms, all corners of the city are getting a boost.
We now have 6 feet of distance between these 2 rows.
At the Indians' Progressive Field, ballpark capacity now rising to 40%.
You can have up to 10 people in a seating pod that needs to be 6 feet from the next seating pod, and every person in that pod must wear a mask. Having the excitement, the energy, the sound of fans here versus having sound piped into the ballpark makes it feel like baseball is coming back.
Cheers. Cheers, Sam.
At city favorite Great Lakes Brewing Company, people lining up before the doors even open.
Are you starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
I am. The crowd today was a great sign of things to come.
The brewery navigating a roller coaster of openings and closings, which is more reality than metaphor for Cedar Point Amusement Park, 151 years young and welcoming back families this Friday. This time without mandatory masks outdoors.
If you start to creep up in the group next to you, you have to wear a face covering. But once you get on the ride, you can take that face covering off and enjoy the ride.
We are riding up the biggest dive drop roller coaster in the United States, 223 feet.
An unknown path forward for residents of Northeast Ohio. But one thing that's certain, they are definitely starting to turn a corner against COVID.
See what I did there? Turn a corner with the ride. I like that. And I also love, Betsy, how Cleveland is now in the national spotlight for how well we're doing reopening, not only with business and arts, but you know what, we're doing it all safely as well.
And it's so important, and you know, it's vital that all of these institutions in Northeast Ohio kind of band together and promote each other, because if you can do a package deal, I think people are going to be feeling much more comfortable going to one spot and kind of navigating from there and spending an entire block of time here rather than popping in and out or kind of traipsing their way across the country. So once you're here, come on in and stay here. We're happy to have you. Bring some cash. We like that too. We appreciate it. And of course, don't forget, we're going to have more on Cleveland's comeback with Al and the team all week. Make sure you tune in to Go every morning starting at 6. Next on What's New, well, we are honoring Mr. Al Roker's time here in Cleveland in a pretty big way. You don't want to miss this.
And Cavs assistant coach Lindsey Gottlieb is leaving the team. We have all the details on where she's going next in Clicking in Cleveland.
Yeah, Al, you got me okay?
Hey, yes, I do. Okay. Macy Gray worked on her best-selling album while she was staying in Canton.
Strong storms in the south, as we mentioned. We'll keep an eye on things down there for certain. That's what's going on around the country. And here's what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Bam!
Yeah! I have only watched a little part of that. I'm getting misty-eyed. You just saw a bucket moment for me. That's a big deal. I'm like,
you should be emotional.
It's stupid. I'm sorry, but I got to get up bright and early this morning to join Al on the Today Show. I can't believe I'm crying. I don't know why. I got to forecast the weather on national TV. That was a goal I set for myself in college. As I posted on my Instagram and my Facebook earlier, my professors sat us down and said, you have to have 3 career goals. And, it's my senior year in college. I'm just ready to graduate.
Right.
And I said, well, I want to see a tornado. I want to drive in a celebrity stock car race.
Okay.
That was a throwaway. And I would love to do weather on national television. And today was the day it happened.
Betsy, it is well-deserved. And you should get emotional over that, because how many people never get to achieve a lifelong dream? It is absolutely incredible. And as our chief, one of the very few female chief meteorologists in the nation, it's a huge deal. So you should be proud. And we're all certainly proud of you. And put that on your resume. It's just cool.
Remember that one time I did weather on national television with Al Roker, and he said bam, and I was like, yeah.
Exactly. Nailed it, as we expect.
That's pretty much it. Well, all of us here at 3 News are very excited to have Mr. Roker back in Cleveland. So we surprised him by naming our triple Doppler tower at the top of the building Roker Tower. Now, it does act as the lightning rod for the station. So,
awesome. Well, I'm a lightning rod for the Today Show.
That's what we figured.
That's fantastic.
So, Mr. Roker, congratulations.
Thank you.
To you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
What an honor.
That is
when
really
everybody thinks of terrific, when they think of terrible weather, they think of me.
When it's red, it's Al Roker.
When it sucks,
really
it's Al Roker.
He absolutely cracked us up out there. We had so much fun. It is so great to surprise him. It's so genuinely surprised and touched, and so he was pretty pleased with that.
He's so quick-witted. When you think of bad weather, you'll now think of me. We think of him for good weather. What is he talking about?
He's like, when the weather sucks, just like he was just right on it. And we had a good time.
Love, love, love seeing all those clips with Al. All right, well, don't forget, we have even more on Cleveland's comeback with Al all week long. Tune in to go every single morning at 6. I promise you don't want to miss it. All right, and now, of course, it's time to talk about weather, and we're getting warmer. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Romney, things are looking up. When you had a day like yesterday, I think they can only get better from there. So
thank you.
That's the good news. Romney, I've always said I thought the worst weather was, rain and 40 degrees. And yesterday changed my mind. I think 37 and a rain and gloppy snow is a little bit worse. So we have that beyond us. Right. It just, it can only get better, as I mentioned. In terms of rainfall on the air, I zipped past that. My clicker's actually hot. It's usually delayed here, but we put a huge dent in our deficit. Remember, we had that ongoing drought. We still do, but it's much better. Cleveland now about 3.5 inches below where we should be. Akron and Mansfield, you are now in the inch category after anywhere from 1 to as much as 4 inches of rain yesterday. Even some wet snow out east. But everything is melted. That's the good news. Still unsettled. That system's long gone. We still have a general area of low pressure off towards the north. This is going to sink south tonight and tomorrow. It's going to bring a reinforcing shot of cool air, so we're not going to get that quick spring warm-up quite yet. The result, we've got more frost advisories across areas of the lower Great Lakes. Ashtabula County seems to be the prime spot for some frost tonight. Could see some areas of patchy frost, depending on if we get those clear skies. But all indication is we do have some clouds coming in. Temperatures in the 50s, even a 60 in Akron right now. We're going to come down into the 40s this evening, but you can see the clouds coming in as that system sinks down to the south. Couple spotty showers this evening and overnight cannot be ruled out, but you can see we do have some areas that will also clear out. That's where your best chance of frost is, especially off towards the north. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast as we go throughout your Tuesday, we're going to see lots of sunshine after we get those morning clouds out of there, but with cool air aloft and that wind coming across the lake, can't rule out some stray showers, especially in the afternoon. Most of us will stay dry, but high temperatures tomorrow only in the low 50s, so a little bit cooler than where we are today. Let's take a big picture look at the next 7 days. Here comes this system on Tuesday sinking south. You see all these isobars, they all expand in a ring. This is a big Canadian high pressure that's going to sink south. It's going to bring cool air all the way down towards the Gulf Coast, but it's also going to bring a lot of sinking air, and that means lots of sunshine this week. We'll stay dry all the way through the weekend. We've got some systems that'll be dancing around us, but we're going to stay optimistic in that forecast now. We could use a dry out. I know we've still got that drought, but let's let everything soak in. Boy, does it look like we get it. What a beautiful week we have out ahead of us. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. We're going to do the steps. Still cool over the next couple days. Again, isolated showers tomorrow. We go dry after that. And as we head on into the weekend, right now we're looking like temps up near 70 with some sunshine. Next formidable chance of rain, Romney, arrives on Monday next week. But until then, this is the weather I think we can say we deserve. Usually I say, maybe we don't, but we definitely do after yesterday.
After the snow, yes, we do deserve a whole week of sunshine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. All right, well, it's time to check back in with Jay Crawford, who's live at Congress Lake Club in Hartville. And Jay, today's golf outing wasn't just for fun, although I'm sure you had some fun. It raised money for the fight against illiteracy.
And there was a very familiar face who was an award winner today, too.
Yeah, Jim Tressel, he's won a lot of awards in his life. He led the Buckeyes to a national championship in that 2003 season. He's accomplished so much, but he really enjoys events like this, and I'm going to tell you why. He inspires all of his players, always has, to pay it forward, give something back. Well, 3 former football players, Ryan Miller, Luke Fickell, and Mike Vrabel, despite the fact they're all very busy, started a foundation 21 years ago. And for this foundation, they basically have athletes at different schools go to elementary schools and read to kids. But they don't just read, they also give them books. They give them books because they're trying to foster a love of reading when these kids are very, very young. Jim Tressel gave a great analogy to me today. He said in football, the building block is, of course, running. If you can't run, you can't play football. He said in life, that building block for success is reading.
I've always said that reading is the fundamental that we have to master in order to have a chance to really reach our potential. What they're doing to make a difference for young people in reading is you cannot even put a price tag on that.
Yeah, it's very tough to do that. This foundation has given away 600,000 books nationally, and a lot of that really stems back to Jim Tressel, instilling in his players the importance of paying forward. And that's what they've done. And we raised a lot of money here today that will go to buying books, to giving them to young kids, to hopefully planting that seed of love for reading, which is so very important in life. Romney, a good day here and a lot of money raised for a good cause.
Such a great cause. We love to see it. And we're so glad that you're there, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next on What's New, Cleveland's time in the spotlight is gaining traction. What one singer says she loves most about the CLE.
Yeah, it's her best-selling album to date. Great. And it's her best-selling album to date, On How Life Is. On How Life Is.
Well, it's time now for Stephanie Haney to join us to see what people have been clicking on in Cleveland. Stephanie, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, Betsy. We are starting off with what's new with Cavaliers assistant coach Lindsey Gottlieb. The first woman to move from coaching college ball into the NBA is heading back to her roots. Gottlieb will be the new women's basketball head coach at the University of Southern California after 2 years with the Cavs. Prior to coming here, she was head women's coach at UC Berkeley for 8 years. Congratulations and good luck, Lindsey. In more Cavaliers news, Kevin Love will speak on mental health this week. He'll be presenting at the Cleveland Clinic's Patient Experience Digital Summit, focused on empathy and innovation. He'll be talking to caregivers who might be facing burnout, depression, and anxiety. That's something Love started sharing about in 2018 with an essay about his mental health for the Players Tribune. The summit is Wednesday and Thursday, and we have details linked at WKYC.com. Now, earlier in the show, you saw the Today Show's Al Roker giving Cleveland love. Well, Macy Gray was on the Today Show today, sharing what she loves about Cleveland.
Probably the thing that inspires me the most is the music that comes out of Cleveland. Some really legendary artists have come from there. 9 Inch Nails, Tracy Chapman, Bone Thug, Kid Cudi's from Cleveland. There's a bunch of them. Just some really good music out of that town. What do I love?
You can go ahead and count Gray among those people too, because she was born in Canton. All right, I have a little music trivia for you, Romney and Betsy. Gray worked on her debut album On How Life Is while she was staying in Canton, and it is her best-selling album to date. So good things coming out of Northeast Ohio.
What an iconic voice she has too. It's raspy, but I love it.
It's so different for sure. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much, bringing us up to date.
Coming up next on What's New, 2 officers were tasked with rescuing 9 ducklings, which proved to be kind of tough. What they improvised with when the ducks got a little squirmy down in that storm drain.
Then tonight on What Matters Most at 6, there's a police officer shortage. Our January Keaton explains why some local departments are having a tough time hiring people to work on the force. And now it's time for our pop quiz, and you may have seen or heard that the Terminal Tower in downtown Cleveland was lit up in orange to honor Al Roker back in Cleveland this week. It's the Today Show's primary color. So our pop quiz question of the day is, how many stories is the iconic Terminal Tower? I would say it's a skyscraper, but it's just a really big building these days. Is it 47, 52, or 58 stories? The answer when we return.
Hey Al, mic check Monica, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, it's right here.
Check 1, 2, 3. Brandon's microphone talking about gas prices still for the 6 o'clock show this time around.
1, 2, 3, 4. Checking 1, 2, 3, 4. We have breaking news.
I rock on my feet when I'm talking. Yeah. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you know what? If you want to become a police officer, now is the time. Parma.
Hey, good evening to you. I'm Laura Queso. We have some breaking news to talk about regarding Pfizer and the vaccine.
Hi, Al. How are you? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. We begin breaking news in the vaccine front tonight.
All right, before the break, we asked you how many stories is the Terminal Tower? Romney, do you have any ideas?
58 maybe?
Oh, well, the answer is actually B,
Okay.
52. And those of us in here have decided that it's more of a skyscratcher
There you
than a
go.
skyscraper. The historic tower is illuminated in orange as Cleveland, of course, welcomes out Roker for the week and the Today Show's Reopening America series on NBC.
Perfect reason for it to be lit up orange, hopefully all week long.
And that orange has been getting used a lot lately with the draft and the Browns.
It has. Well deserved. All right, well, today's Show Us Something Good comes from Virginia. 2 officers from a police animal protection unit got called into action to rescue 9 ducklings that wound up in a sewer drain. They lowered a large crate to lure the ducks into it, but wrangling them was not an easy task. They improvised using a dustpan, of all things, to get all but one of the ducklings. Carefully, the officers transported this very precious cargo over to their nervous mama, and the ducklings happily and very quickly scampered away to be reunited. There they go, saying, "Hey, Mom, we just took a little detour, a little field trip without you."
I love their little peeps. It's so cute.
Yes.
Well, we have a campaign called Feel the Love, where we're asking all of you to share your reunions with us. Just use the hashtag reunions on 3 on social media, or you can upload pictures and video to our WKYC app using the Near Me feature. We love to see people getting back together after they haven't been able to see each other in a while. And boy, we have really had some beautiful moments that people have shared with us. A little misty-eyed in here from time to time as grandmas get to see their grandbabies and moms get to see their kids.
Aren't those the best?
Boy, it's just
Keep videotaping them because I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you send those in. Well, thanks everybody for staying with us on this Monday, and thank you for watching What's New.
Always a pleasure to join you, Betsy. What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Paying at the pump.
Compared to last year when prices were only $1.85, it seems like sticker shock.
A U.S. pipeline shutdown sparks worries of higher gas prices.